Live. It just says.
I don't know why it does that little blip every time in between transitions. This is Nico Johnson, another Suncast Live. If you are joining us, I'm with my compadre, Josh Porter from Solar Coaster. Josh, awesome to see you, brother.
Great to see you as always, Nico. Really fun to be here, and so glad we can do some collaborative stuff at this time of year as we usually do with SPI.
Yeah, man. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm missing Salt Lake City right about now, and Anaheim, and even, dare I say it, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to be in Vegas right now, but man, I'm craving the trade show experience. And I know that a lot of folks are getting Zoomed out, they're getting conferenced out, even in this virtual environment. Well, Josh and I have been collaborating behind the scenes as well on this year's Solar Power International, and we wanted to jump in to say, how's the experience going for everyone? If you're participating in the virtual trade show, we'd love to hear from you. If you're jumping in on LinkedIn or YouTube and watching this, we'd like you to comment on how things are going for you this year at Solar Power International Virtual Trade Show. So Josh and I are going to give a few insights about the things that, how we're experiencing it, and we're going to talk a bit about some of the stuff that we also are producing in concert with Solar Power International 2020, the virtual trade show experience. Josh, let's kick it off real quick with you. Have you had a chance to check in on the content? I mean, right, it's a bevy of content. It's a river to drink from this year, as they try to put the trade show aside the conference education series.
Yeah, so drinking from a fire hose, that term definitely popped in my head as I had 6 streams up on my 55-inch monitor and trying to decide where I wanted to go. So there's a lot of content out there, and that's great to see. And it's great to see some faces and companies that we know and love and appreciate, so that I'm enjoying getting a chance to see that. We're coming at it from the perspective of just emerging from this 6 weeks of virtual education sessions.
Yeah.
And so that it's a little bit different, right? Because you've got this kind of length of time that you're interacting with this group, with the industry, with the platform, learning the platforms. And then for me, it's been great actually to be able to witness some of I think I definitely did more of the educational content than I ever did in past years. Why? Because I had 6 weeks and I was able to check it out. So in that respect, that was great, because during the show days that we are at SPI or North America Smart Energy Week, I mean, it's just minute by minute, right? Those 2 or 3 days that we're just jamming. So that's different, right? Although I'll tell you something funny, just as I think it's funny. I came out of one of the shows at one point, and my energy was kind of high, and I was speaking really loud, and my wife and my daughter were like, "Why are you talking so loud?" And I'm like, "Because I was just talking with a bunch of people." So yeah, no, it's different, but there's some unique value propositions I think being kind of realized, And then now today, of course, looking at the full virtual trade show. There's a lot there. Drinking from a fire hose, drinking from a river, right? It's a tsunami in a sense. I don't know. I mean, we could talk a little bit about some of the different ways to navigate this space. I think that's probably where you want to go with it.
Yeah, I think so. For sure, I want to talk about what's some of the programming. We cover it on. Whoops, Josh, it's frozen on my side. Not sure if it's frozen for the viewers. Let's see. There you are. Got you back.
How's that going? Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Looking good from sunny Hawaii. So we've been talking about on our weekly roundup all of the educational content that you just pointed out, and for those who are wondering, Josh at times has to cool his computer down with a fan because he has a whole knock system there, keeping the solar coaster rolling. So every week we do the weekly roundup, which last week you participated in, and this week you're going to be a co-host for. And so I think that navigating the trade show is something that folks are trying to figure out right now. We can give our 2 cents on that. But we also have, we have Suncast, another broadcast that's going to be part of the live show today at 6:30, and you've got something tomorrow, right?
I sure do. Can you hear me okay, or am I clipping out at all?
I can hear you. Your hair is flowing in the breeze.
I'll turn the fan down. So yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of great things kind of happening here. So we'll just rely on the audio, and apologize for the video there. But we are in Maui after all, a world away from you guys. So we do encounter some delays from time to time too. So we're doing something interesting tomorrow at 6 p.m. We actually have a 30-minute long format show that we're doing, and we decided to focus in on ESG. Can you still hear me okay?
Oh yeah, hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, great. So I'll try to give you a decent profile face here. But basically, one of the things we learned over the last year was the impact of the renewable energy industry and the new energy economy, I like to call it, on the markets. And so we brought a financial expert. His name is Brian Thomas of Fairwinds Wealth Management here in Maui, money manager and investment manager, and on the show for about 50 or 60 episodes. And we explored all the things that were happening in the space of renewable energy in the financial markets. And we decided to do some really exciting things. So that's going to be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Please check that out. We're going to explain our entire kind of process there.
Yeah, fantastic. And actually, what I was alluding to as well today, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Domestic Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, EDT, we have what we're coining the Great Solar Debate. And instead of me telling you about it, I thought, why not have one of our guests from the Solar Debate jump in? So I'm going to have John Powers from Extensible Energy jump in for a few minutes and talk a bit about the premise of the Great Solar Debate. John, how you doing from Berkeley, California?
Oh, just getting better all the time, Nico. Thanks a lot for having me on.
No doubt. My pleasure. Hey, we've got this great solar debate between you and a storage vendor, Yada Energy, and we had Jonas from Promise Energy join as well. It's going to air tonight at 6:30. What do you think folks should be aware of? What's the premise of the debate?
Well, in this season of debates, it's nice to have a debate that actually addresses the audience and provides some information. I was super happy to join you and the team you just discussed, because there's some real issues for commercial solar. The commercial solar developers are looking for ways to save not just energy, but demand and time of use charges and the rest to maximize the value of their total solution for the end customer. And I think there's a lot of information in the market about batteries and less so about, a 10 times cheaper alternative, which is load flexibility software. So it was a pleasure to join you and Andrew and the rest to just hash out the issues. So, of course, there's good information out there about batteries. We wanted to make sure people understood that that's not the only alternative in a commercial solar installation.
Yeah, it was a fun debate. At times, there was some tension. I think it's going to be fun to see how people react. And a heads up, when you watch tonight, we don't have the full 1 hour in the stream that Solar Power International is going to be showing at 6:30. The full 1 hour is going to be syndicated later on our website at mysuncast.com. And that is also where I'd encourage you all to jump into a poll that we're going to be running on social media to assess who's the winner. Who's the winner in this debate? John Powers from Extensible Energy, thanks for jumping in here with us. We look forward to that production later on tonight.
Vote twice, everybody. Once
That's right.
Once in the national election and once in this poll.
Absolutely. Fantastic. See you, John. Appreciate you jumping in.
See ya.
Aloha, John.
All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun, and really, hat tip to the Solar Energy Trade Shows team that is pulling off what is a gargantuan effort. It's been really interesting to see over 7 weeks the micro conferences and how folks are engaging in that process versus the trade show itself. Josh, let's touch on the trade show, which launched this morning. How do folks get into the trade show? Is there a portal specific that they should be going to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'd be able to give you a really comprehensive overview of it, but basically you go to the website, Solar Power International, and they're going to there's a video, initial video that gives you a sense of how to kind of navigate the space. And then there is a My Show planner where you can identify potential colleagues or companies that you want to reach out to, get their contact information. You can get access to information like brochures and case studies and white papers. All that information is there. Of course, there are the streams, and this is kind of the new thing, right? So there are I believe there's 5 channels, and I found that really cool. One of the things that I was surprised at, I'm sitting there working on some content and I see my face pop up. They're re-airing our micro show series. So that was kind of neat. But in those different channels, they're basically streaming out content in the respective areas. And there's 5 of them. I don't know if I can remember off the top of my head, but there's basically solar, there's microgrid, there's hydrogen, there's storage. I think North America Smart Energy Week might be one too. So there's these 5 different streams, and you can kind of pick and choose, and find out what you want to do. And I recommend you choose, because trying to watch 5 at the same time didn't work out great.
Yeah, indeed. I don't have a second screen. I think what I'll do here, I'm going to try and share so that folks can actually get a visual. Let's see, I'll grab a Chrome tab, and it is this tab. This is what the stream looks like.
Oh, cool.
Toss it. Yeah, good. It's up there. Cool. So this is what the stream actually looks like. If you are in solarpowerevents.watch, you've got the Smart Energy Week Live, and that is in fact where the 2 sessions that we've mentioned already are going to be viewed: solar channel, energy storage channel, microgrid channel, and then you can click here to see view all. I'm not exactly sure. There we go. And then it links to all of the different channels and the complimentary webinars. So the other Map My Show here, let's see, probably isn't going to, I think I just chose the tab. There we go. So we'll kill screen share. Let's see, stop. The other one, Map My Show, is if you're familiar with going to a Solar Power International in the past, Map My Show or Map Your Show is how you would set appointments or figure out where the exhibitors are. This year it comes with a whole slew of tabs that in past years weren't there. So you've got the planner, you can see exhibitors and products, collateral. There's actually a section called recommendations that shows up towards the bottom that I would encourage you, if you haven't spent any time there yet, you go check out the recommendations. It's simply the recommended exhibitors, but it'll help you kind of fast track figuring out how to get in touch with exhibitors and see who's there. It's the usual suspects: Aurora Solar, Jinko, Hanwha. I've added Canadian and Demand IQ, Shoals, Solar Edge, Trina Solar. I'm alum there to my list of exhibitors, folks I want to visit and touch base with, and am navigating through the process now of trying to set up meetings. And what I'm really curious to see this year is if there are any interesting announcements. Josh, have you seen any announcements through sort of around SPI as a cornerstone that really get you excited?
You mean in terms of new products or the type of stuff we would be on the lookout for?
Exactly. It would typically be a huge a slew of new product introductions and.
Well, there are some things that I think the companies have been telegraphing in a sense for the last month or so. Of course, you've got the Energy Hub system. I saw Demetrius Papaganos speak regarding that. I think that was at maybe the keynote. And, that's a very exciting technology. And we're engaged with that in some product testing here in the upcoming months.
That's the Solar Edge deal.
The Solar Edge Energy Hub system. It's a really remarkable technology. We're talking about, 3 inputs. They did announce the availability of the HD Wave storage in 10 and 11.4 configurations, which is no small thing, because if you think about the capacity of the Energy Hub system, then you have the ability to integrate 3 inverters to that Energy Hub. And what that means is you could stack 3 11.4s. So do the math on that. That's AC, right? And like you're talking about with 200%, by the way, AC DC ratio. So you're in the 60 plus kilowatts in a resi configuration, which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
So I could talk on that for an hour. You probably don't want me to, but in any case, Energy Hub is one of those technologies that I enjoy hearing. And they're also, because of that technology, you're able to now look a little bit forward in terms of that integration of EV, transpo, and solar and inversion on the side of your roof, moving into your home and what's going to happen with load controls. And that's the stuff that gets us all jazzed, right? So, that's some of the content that I know has been coming. And then I did hear the new 10 and 11.4 discussed today by Demetrios, VP of Marketing for SolarEdge US.
Yeah. Well, I'll note here, we decided to throw the LinkedIn Live together a little last minute. I see that we got a few watchers here. Those, I'm sure more folks are going to watch this not as a live, but as a replay, and that's totally fine. If you have a product announcement that you'd like us to talk about that you think is interesting, or that even better, you'd like to jump on tomorrow, we're going to do another live at 5 o'clock Eastern as well. So what's that, 2 p.m. Pacific? What time is that for you? 10 a.m.?
That would be 11.
11 a.m. Hawaii time. And we would love to hear from you or hear what it is that you're announcing, what you're excited about. We've got a partner, IdeemaTech, excuse me, that has launched a bifacial 2-in-portrait tracker, and they've got a few new interesting things they call their on the horizon product. So nice. For those who've been following our weekly roundup, we now have a giveaway this week of a drone, a DJI, for those who jump in and engage, man. Yeah, I'm jealous. I don't have a chance to win the drone, but I guess I'm winning. I'm winning in other different ways. So
that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. I do want to mention a couple of things, if you don't mind, Nico.
Yeah, jump in.
So I think, in terms of other products, because I think this is really what people want to be able to kind of engage with. If they are not able to attend the show, then what are some of the takeaways? I did notice a couple of things, right? And from different areas, if you don't mind. Mm-hmm. So roller rack, I think, was the technology, and that was an extruded aluminum. It looked like a racking system for flat roofs for commercial. Very interesting technique, taking from the industry from like gutters, for example, or like standing seam roofing. You have extruded aluminum coming out, and that's a really interesting innovation. You see a movement from a certain industry into the renewable energy industry. In a similar vein, if you don't mind, I'll mention one of my sponsors, which is Enduro Shield, which is a panel coating technology, also a company that's in another industry coming into the renewable energy industry. Endurance is really interesting. It's a type of coating, a hydrophobic and oleophobic coating that goes on glass, but doesn't fill in the cracks, so it maintains the dimpling. And you can move that into solar panels, and then you're able to minimize O&M costs future forward. Oh, wow. Very cool stuff. That technology is on the spire of the Freedom Tower because, it's not the kind of thing that you like to get up there and wash down every day, right? So sure. And there's a lot of other tech emerging, folks. So I would definitely tune in tomorrow. We'll share some of the other technologies that we're seeing.
Yeah, and I'll say, I don't see, or maybe it's because I was really busy today and I was watching some of the live content, but I don't see a bevy of announcements that one might expect. One of the things that I did catch, though, and hat tip to our friends, Kelsey Misburner in particular, over at Solar Power World, Fluence purchased Advanced Microgrid. Did you see this?
No.
Dude.
No.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations to the team at Advanced Microgrid Solutions. Fluence is killing it. Obviously, they're the leader in global grid scale storage deployment. They're doing an amazing job. But what a great success story for Susan and the team that lifted this thing out of the dust and got to, were able to create value through AI and storage enablement for a company like Fluence to buy them. I mean, now we're seeing real consolidation in the energy storage market. This is an exciting time to be in the energy transition.
It is remarkable. And I'll tell you what, there's another 3 or 4 examples that I can think of right now of activity similar to that. Past activity and present activity and some things we're hearing about on the horizon. And what's, a lot of these are privately held companies, so you can't participate in that necessarily. But there are big moves in the publicly traded space. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about tomorrow at our session, actually launching one of the first indexes for the full scope of the new energy economy. So you'll be able to make some decisions about how you want to purchase some stocks, maybe move some money out of that bonds, that non-performing bond area. So a lot of exciting stuff happening here.
Yeah, super excited about that. There's a lot of fun tech-enabled investing that's coming around right now as well. I don't know if folks remember Mike Silvestrini from Green Skies. He was like episode 85 or 86 on Suncast, and these guys have a really cool platform called at a company called Energia, which is a crowdfunding platform for assets around the world. I mean, they're seeing returns in the double digits with a dividend product that you can invest in renewable assets outside of the United States as well as inside the United States. Those are like companies to watch. Those are the kind of companies that excite me.
Yeah, for sure. And I like energy. I could imagine that would be particularly applicable for like the donut hole that tends to have trouble getting funded, right? That space above small commercial, below kind of big commercial, sizing for years, for the last decade, was always challenging. So there's some solutions out there. I bet you that's one of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to see a lot of innovation around financing. One of the concerns that I feel folks are having right now, as we sort of bring it to a close on how to engage with in this pandemic environment, a trade show that we'd all rather be there in person, is setting appointments and sort of getting off of the what feels like the webinar train and really engaging with people. Have you been able to set appointments and have something that feels a little bit like a trade show where you can engage with the exhibitors? Or are you getting traction there?
Yeah. So candidly, because I'm in content production mode, I haven't done anywhere near as much as we typically do. But I did. Right. I did speak to my co-host Jason Vericart and collaborators on this earlier in the day, and I found that people were reaching out and saying, "Hey, we have this new product and we have this announcement," and then I said, "Oh, wait a second, the show's around the corner." It was kind of like it caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
So, but my response was, "Let's definitely meet. I don't know if it's going to be during the show day. Perhaps it's after. Let's schedule for our world, let's schedule an interview and let's can that interview and let's push that out at the right time." But I did get a chance, and I do have a couple of things on the calendar right now, so I'm looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Well, we'd love to hear from you as well. If you are using the trade show platform to reach out to exhibitors, how has your experience been? Have you been able to set up meetings? Would you like to set up meetings with Suncast and Solar Coaster to get interviews to reach our thousands of listeners? And also, just because we mentioned at the beginning, and maybe you missed it, if you have some sort of fancy announcement or something that is cutting edge, some new product introduction, reach out. Tag us here in the comments below. Let us know you'd like to be on tomorrow's show, where we'll redo this again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to give more of our insights and takeaways from what we're seeing in the trade show. And of course, last plug, tonight at 6:30, the great solar debate, software versus hardware in the commercial solar space on the storage side. And tomorrow, Josh and his team have a fantastic program around ESG investing for the common man, and how you can put your dollars to work. And last but not least, on Friday, we have our Suncast Weekly Roundup, sponsored by LG Solar, where Josh and I this week are going to be co-hosting the show and bringing you insights and interviews from the week's activities. That's it for us right now. I will borrow from Josh's playbook and say aloha to you all. Thanks for joining in. Josh, any final words?
Aloha, and just one thing, I want to say congratulations to your co-host Glenda for expanding her family and her new baby. Congratulations, Glenda.
Fantastic. We'll see you all, and likewise, congratulations, Glenda. We hope everyone is doing well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Mahalo.